Ready? Okay, and we are moving forward to our next trainer, Ross Borissov. Hello, Ross.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi. Some of our students who are watching us know you in person, but most of our spectators don't know you. So please tell our students more about yourself, your experience, and how many years you have been in IT industry.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Nikki. Hello, everyone. My name is Ross Borissov. I'm an IT engineer. I have experience in the IT industry for the last 16 plus years now. And more importantly, in the last more than 8 years, I'm especially dealing with DevOps-oriented processes. Containerization, deployment to Kubernetes, cloud native applications, and everything related to that. I have worked in big companies like SAP and Progress Software in my career, and I have vast experience in consulting large companies in terms of their DevOps transformation, and also I'm leading many courses in the DevOps spectrum. Some of them I'm going to deliver as part of this program. One is related to Devops Fundamentals, and the other one is related to particularly details about using Jenkins for terms of administration and creating DevOps pipelines inside of it. I have already led previously in this program a course about Jenkins, so some of you may already know me from that course. I'll be happy to meet more students this time, and I'll be happy to also dig into the culture of DevOps, which we will do in the Devops Fundamentals course.
Thank you. Let's start from the Devops Fundamentals course. Do you think this course is popular nowadays, and why?
Thank you for the question. Well, it is very popular. It is actually crucial, in my opinion, for anyone who wants to go into the world of DevOps to start with this course first before they even jump into the technical details of technologies like Docker and Kubernetes and others. Because what I've seen nowadays is that many people who have just heard the nowadays popular term DevOps, they have a lot of misconceptions about what DevOps is. And many people just consider that if you know Docker or if you know containers in general, Kubernetes or something, if you have seen a DevOps pipeline, then you know what DevOps is about, which is far from the truth. DevOps is all about transformation of our culture, our mindset, our values, and DevOps is all about making our business more effective through the optimization of processes, products, automation, and everything else, so that we are able as a business to deliver more value to the customer on a rather frequent cadence. And so all of this technical fanciness that we are gonna learn with you, that we utilize in DevOps, is only the how, but not the what. So that's a long way to say that for anyone who wants to be an effective DevOps engineer, they should rather start with the DevOps fundamentals first and learn everything about what is the culture, what is the mindset, what are the values, etc. Later on, this would help you in your DevOps career.
And according to your personal observation, what is demand for DevOps professionals? Is it high or low or rising?
It is extremely high, Nikki. As every day that we go further in the future, more and more companies that are, due to legacy reasons, doing their IT business, doing their software development and manufacturing in general in the more traditional way, more and more they're opening their eyes and mindsets towards these new ideas of DevOps, and they really want to start going this path, starting this transformation, this journey towards the DevOps practices and towards deploying to the cloud and creating applications that are cloud native. So more and more they seek DevOps engineers who are already coming with this culture, with this mindset, with this knowledge, coming to help them to start the transformational journey. So it is in extremely high demand right now. So anybody who is starting their career in IT nowadays should rather start learning the DevOps culture, DevOps ideas and practices and tools and instruments, so that they could they could be an effective participant in this market, in this IT market, where DevOps engineers are very highly looked for.
Please tell us a bit more details about the course Devops Fundamentals. What topics will be included and what practical exercises will be covered?
All right. Well, like I said previously, in the Devops Fundamentals course, we are going to start learning about the culture of DevOps. How did it emerge? What ideas from the past that were appearing independently here and there were united and leveraged into this nowadays very thriving DevOps movement? What practices were rejected by the DevOps movement? What practices were adopted by DevOps movement? We are gonna learn why this happened, because in the end of the day, DevOps just wants to be effective and fast. And we are going to learn about a few organizational models which help support a good DevOps transformation, and other organizational models which are somewhat ineffective or like enemies of the DevOps transformation. We are going to learn about concepts and ideas which are highly leveraged in DevOps. And in terms of the exercises we are going to do, there is one very important tool that we use in DevOps, and everything starts from it. And this tool is called value stream mapping, or value stream map in general. So the most important exercise we're going to do together in this course with the students is value stream map of certain processes. We're going to imagine some processes and we are going to then map them out to see what their value stream is. We're going to quantify this exercise. We're going to brainstorm, do the analysis, and then brainstorm about possible optimizations. And then we are going to think how these possible optimizations could actually be achieved through the use of modern instruments that are found in the DevOps spectrum.
And what job positions are suitable for the specialists that just completed this course?
Mm-hmm. Well, the most common job offer that anyone could find over the internet, over websites like LinkedIn or your Stack Overflow and many others, would be just basically DevOps engineer. This would be the first thing that anybody could find. But I would say that also, if anyone is, let's say, a QA engineer, they should totally know and dive into the DevOps culture so that they become more effective in their QA job and become, I would say, a QA engineer who is knowledgeable and capable and thinking in terms of DevOps. And same is true for a software engineer, same is true even for an IT admin, etc. So I would say DevOps Fundamentals course is crucial for any particular role that you could find in the technical side of IT.
From your personal point of view, why should our Georgian students apply for this course and not others? What are the core benefits?
Well, should you want to jumpstart your IT career, or should you want, if you're already an IT professional, to elevate your IT career to a completely different level, be ready for the cloud ideas, be ready to implement and to create and evolve cloud native applications, definitely this course is for you. It's the market nowadays. If you just look at the offers, you'll see that deep knowledge about the DevOps model, DevOps culture, etc., would tremendously improve your professionalism and thus help your career.
And What about a certificate? What international certificate will our students get after this course?
Yeah, that's a good question. We are happy to have an official internationally recognized certificate for each course that we teach. And in this case, the certificate is provided by an organization which is called PeopleCert, internationally recognized course, and the certificate is called Devops Fundamentals certificate. So anybody who takes the exam, official exam after our course and succeeds in passing it will have the certificate provided by PeopleCert, and it's called Devops Fundamentals.
Yeah, in your opinion, how this certificate will help our students in their professional career?
Good question. Many people in the past have asked me, well, when I invest the efforts to take the exam and obtain this official certificate, then what happens next? Are organizations respecting these certificates? Is this something meaningful? People are just concerned about investing their time for something that probably doesn't bring any value. Well, I always reply to them, imagine the following situation. Two people apply for some job. Let's say the job offer is for DevOps engineer. One of them has only practical knowledge. So one of them probably has worked with Docker, Kubernetes, some tools. The other person has some similar, let's say, relative practical knowledge, but at the same time, this other person has really invested themselves in learning the culture and concepts from the bottom up and knowing when we use, let's say, containerization, why do we use it for? Well, and can demonstrate this with the officially worldwide recognized certificate. Well, clearly the second person has the advantage. Clearly, the second person would be hired first, which is a no-brainer.
Can you share your story? When you were in beginning of your career, how learning and certification help and influence your career development?
That's an excellent question, Nikki. Well, when I was finishing high school, before I even started my university studies, I came to study in what was called as CTech PG, and now it's known as New Horizons. I came to study at that point, it was still modern and brand new .NET framework. So I spent a few months of my time coming to the classes, and then, of course, the classes prepared me well for the official certification by Microsoft. So I was able to obtain the Microsoft Certified Professional, my first certificate in my life in the IT. And then this helped me to be hired in the IT industry in Bulgaria right away. So I was working from the first day of my university studies, and I was able to support myself through all of this. And I'm forever grateful that I did this and that I also spent the time to go and certify myself.
Excellent. This is your case together with another 10 students. We are always one of our examples how good learning time invested in the right moment of the career jumpstart the development of young professionals, because all of your friends of that group are excellent professionals now.
Yes, that is absolutely true. All of us 10 people, are amongst the top performers in the IT sector in Bulgaria.
Mm-hmm. And I can share that I'm happy that we do this that time, and we continue to try to have such initiatives from time to time. And now, based on your previous experience in the pilot phase of this project, what you recommend to all new students in order them to get successfully certified?
That's a good question. So first thing that I recommend to them is attend 100% of our classes. Really pay attention, really apply yourself. Second thing is I'm giving some homeworks after most of the classes. So really apply yourself and really do the homework, really experiment on your own, so that if you find some technical difficulties, something that you weren't able to achieve, then this allows us to discuss it at the beginning of our next class. So, hands-on learning is really, really recommended. The next thing is, in the end of this course, we have a dedicated day for going through sample questions that you might find similar questions to those in the real exam. And we not only go through them fast and provide the right answer, we really deep dive into each of those questions, really talk about the logic behind the question, talk about the way of thinking, the reasoning, how people should be able to decompose the logic behind the question and really follow it, so to find the right answer with certainty. So I would ask you to really apply yourself and attend this session. And after it finishes, probably you could find on your own also sample questions, really go through them, really feel comfortable, and then go for the exam.
And after the exams, what can be the next step, the next challenge for students?
Well, after they successfully take the exam and they obtain the certificate, I would highly recommend to them to go log into their LinkedIn profile and directly attach this official certificate to their LinkedIn profile. And then, of course, if you're not already working somewhere, just look for the offer that you find in your area, or of course remote jobs nowadays for DevOps engineer, and really start sending your CV, start linking your LinkedIn profile to your application, and you'll see success in that.
Excellent. We overviewed in details the first course. Now let's talk about the second course that you teach. Do you think the DevOps engineer with Jenkins is popular nowadays, and why?
Good question. Let me start from there, that in today's DevOps world, clearly there are many software tools for creating your DevOps pipelines inside of, but there is one particular tool which stands out of the crowd, and this is the Jenkins software provided by the company CloudBees. It is tremendously more popular than any of its competitors. It is somewhat the founder of this, automated pipeline spectrum, if you will. It was a pioneer, I should say. And you would find many, many companies relying on Jenkins nowadays for implementing their DevOps pipelines inside of. So I would say, especially if you are new to DevOps pipelines and this would be your first meet with DevOps pipelines, you definitely, your best bet is to start with deep knowledge about Jenkins, because clearly it is the most popular tool and its market share is significantly higher than its competitors.
We already talked about demand for DevOps professionals, that it is extremely high. But before continuing the details for DevOps and Jenkins, can you shed a light on what is exactly DevOps? This is very modern word. Everybody talks about it, but some of our guests may not know enough about the DevOps as a practice.
Mm-hmm.
You once say that this is a mix of various things like culture, like tools, like
organizations. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good question. DevOps is a relatively short term, which actually wraps inside of it a lot of meaning. It was originally coined in 2007 by a Belgian guy by the name of Patrick Dubois. In his blog post, you could say he just mechanically united the former separate silo of the development with the former separate silo of the operations and coined this term DevOps with in mind. He had the idea of creating a cross-functional autonomous team that is able to not only know how to implement software, but also how to run and operate the software in production and etc. Monitor, improve, and continuously evolve this software. So this is how the term was coined almost now 14 years back. Then it really picked up. These ideas really picked up, and then people, then it started like a movement. It started living its own life. There is no particular person nowadays. There is no particular organization that is, standing behind the DevOps movement. It just has its own life, and it's completely open. And every person, organization in this IT world can participate and evolve its ideas. And so, long story short, in this DevOps movement, people started including more and more ideas, concepts, best practices, things that are proven in reality, which work and which work well and produce better results, more optimal results, less software bugs, less delays, and etc. And people started rejecting some ideas of the past, which have proven to lead to bad results. And nowadays, in the DevOps culture, it is really a culture. It's not something single statement that we could do. It's really a culture. And nowadays, in this DevOps culture, we have lots and lots of ideas. That is why I said in the beginning, anybody who wants to be a good DevOps engineer, they should really start with the DevOps Fundamental course to really understand what is the culture of DevOps, what kind of organizational structures it recommends, and what kind of organizational structure it rejects. Similarly, what kind of processes it recommends, what kind of automation tools and automation ideas it recommends, and etc. and etc. So in DevOps nowadays, in 2021, there is a lot of meaning to unpack when we say DevOps. It's not a single thing.
Thank you. Please tell us a bit more details about the course DevOps with Jenkins. What topics will be covered and what practical exercises will this course include?
All right. In the Jenkins course, we are going to look at the Jenkins software from two angles. One angle being if we were to administrate Jenkins, and the other angle being if we were to use Jenkins to create our pipelines inside of it. So that is to say, we are going to have practical exercises in terms of installing and administrating Jenkins, which includes, let's say installation of plugins, upgrades, maintenance, etc. And also, the other angle is we're going to have practical exercises in terms of creating pipelines in Jenkins. We are going to start with the former legacy model of creating freestyle jobs, just so that we have a complete knowledge about Jenkins. And then, of course, we are going to move into the modern way of defining pipelines in Jenkins, which is the declarative mode.
How would you define the prerequisites for this course? What skills a potential student should already have in order to be successful with this course?
In this Jenkins course, we are trying to start from the basics as much as possible. But that said, if any student have any previous knowledge about writing software in whichever technology, like .NET, Java, JavaScript, Node.js, Python, Google Go, or whatever, any previous experience with writing software in whichever technology would definitely be a plus, and it will be easier for these people to understand when we are going for the pipelines. That's one thing. And the other thing is general knowledge about the DevOps culture that I mentioned previously. So essentially going through the Devops Fundamentals course would be a significant advantage to any participant who has done it, because knowing the DevOps culture and knowing the goal which we're trying to achieve would really help them understand why are we doing these pipelines and what is our aim when we're doing them. And the final thing, of course, is as this is software and we are going to administer it, just the general computer knowledge, working with consoles, writing commands, working with command line interfaces. This would be a help. Well, clearly in this course, we are going to show each command on on the screen, and we're not going to ask people to just invent new commands. But still, the more comfortable you feel in general with working with computers and command lines, the more comfortable you feel with this course.
So we can say that this is use a lot of scripting during the applying these skills.
This one is a technical course, yes. So there will be some scripting, there would be, writing commands, there would be, technical stuff.
Okay. What job positions are suitable for the specialists that just complete this course?
Yep. Again, Devops engineer role would be suitable for a person who is deeply knowledgeable in Jenkins as a major representative of the pipeline software spectrum. There could be jobs listed on the market like release automation engineer. This would be a job that would be a prime candidate for anyone certified in, Jenkins. There could be a job for site reliability engineer that could also be influenced by this certificate. So that is just to give a few examples, something more targeted that you could, apply for after you have certified yourself in this.
We can see, just a side remark, we can see the influence of DevOps. In the past, many applications are released once or 2 times per year. Mm-hmm. Now, even a huge platform like Microsoft Azure has deployment of new features almost every day. And this is a standard practice.
That is true.
We can say that it is definitely the influence of practices like DevOps.
This is absolutely true. I can give another example. One company that is amongst the leaders in today's DevOps world is the company Netflix. And if you just Google some videos of people who work there who talk about their environment, you'll easily find that this company has hundreds of thousands of individual microservices deployed to their production environment. And this results in having every single day tens of thousands of deployments, individual deployments of new versions of this and that microservice. So all of this is underpinned by all of these DevOps culture and practices that we are going to talk about in the Devops Fundamentals course.
Thank you. And from your personal point of view, why should our Georgian students apply for this course? What are the core benefits they will get from it?
First of all, this is a course which is provided to them generously by the Georgian government Ministry of Information Technologies, etc. So it is a no-brainer for anyone to take this opportunity that is given in their hands. And then again, remember that this course would highly elevate your IT career. This essentially would bring you to a totally new level in your career. Better professional, highly skilled, and highly paid.
And, what international certificate will our students get after successfully passing the exam at end of this course?
Yeah, the official worldwide recognized certificate for this course is called Certified Certified Jenkins Engineer. And I wanted to say that this certificate is issued by the company CloudBees, who is the vendor of Jenkins. So there is no higher authority than that. And like I said, this certificate is officially globally recognized. So again, what I told you previously, let's say you're applying for a release automation engineer and you are able to showcase that you have obtained this certificate, clearly you have an advantage and will be hired first.
Can you share some information, not details, but how the exam is provided? Questions, cases, or something else?
Yeah, the certificate is provided by a partner of the company CloudBees. which is called Criterion. So people are able to self-register themselves for the course and for the exam, sorry, and select an available time slot for them that is most suitable and it's comfortable for them. So they have to sit through a bunch of questions. Most of them are single choice, some of them are multiple choice. Essentially, they would have to, first of all, know the concepts and the definitions of the terminology about Jenkins. So some of the questions will be related to that, but also there will be questions which showcase a particular case. Let's say somebody wants to implement a pipeline, and there would be snippets of code provided in the answers, and each snippet would provide a piece of the answer. And so people would have to select the correct pieces as a kind of puzzle, the correct pieces in the correct order, so they come to the correct solution. That is how an exam would look like.
And based on your previous experience in the pilot phase of this project, what you would recommend to all the new students in order them to get successfully certified?
Like I said previously, I would recommend them to attend 100% of the classes, do not skip a class. Also pay high attention. Also, in these classes, I'm constantly asking some questions to the audience so that I keep the engagement high. Really try to answer as much questions as I am asking in classes. Really apply yourself and be focused, be concentrated on the material. Really do the homeworks, the assignments. Really spend the time to do them. And if you have questions, ask them the next class that we have in the beginning. I spend some time to answer, and resolve technical difficulties. Also, do not forget to attend the sample exam session. And also try to find online as much sample questions as you could. And then when you feel comfortable, go for the test, for the official exam.
And I would add, would you add some words about the practices? Not everybody use Jenkins before coming to our course.
It is a good idea to also try to replicate what we are doing in the virtual lab environments. Try to replicate this on your own machine or some other machine you can get your hands on, and try to repeat everything that we have been doing in the class on your own. Probably do it not only once but a few times, so that you get more comfortable. And in IT, it's clear that people learn easily when they get their hands on something and they really try to fulfill a goal on their own. So I would also recommend you to do that.
Thank you very much, Ross, for taking time to join us today and
My
share
pleasure,
your
Nikki.
vision
Mm-hmm.
And experience with our students. We hope today's interview will help our audience to make a better decision whether this course will be suitable for their career or not. See you again in February, where our trainings start. Dear students, don't forget to apply for the desired course by December 30 at our website, ict.gov.g. Also, please subscribe to our Facebook page to be always up to date with the news about the project, because our project is evolving. There is news almost every day, and we would like you to be informed about this.
Thank you very much, Nikki. Thank you very much for the opportunity to participate in the program and lead those courses. To anyone who is still wondering whether they should enlist, I would highly encourage you to do so.
Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.